the songbird of our time,
Charles Giltrow.
Welcome back to Monkey See, Monkey Do, joined with Mr. Charles Giltrow.
How's it going?
And Maddie's back as well.
Yo!
And I know what you're thinking. Guys, you had an episode recently where you look very similar to how you look now, but your shirts have changed. But let me tell you, it's definitely a week different.
Not me. I'm still wearing the shit I wore last night.
So we'd like to start you off today with a little story that Matt and Chiz are going to partake in.
You want to start it off?
We're going to talk about the time we did a surf trip up to Wedge Island.
It was a good time.
It was a good time. So we went up to Wedge Island. It was you and me. And a couple of my friends joined us, a couple of young ladies. And so one of them was surfing with us and the other one was just along for the ride. And so I know these ladies pretty well.
How well?
I know one of them
damn well.
very, very well. And
Yep.
the other one, we've spent a lot of time not wearing clothes together.
Well, you don't know them that well.
We're good mates.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just clarifying.
But, so, all right, they're very liberal girls.
Yeah.
We've taken young Chiz on a surf trip. We foil drive up to Wedge Island.
Just for anyone listening who doesn't know us, what's the age difference between you two?
How old are you?
Oh shit! Like I'm 40 next year.
22. So
Cool,
that's
a bit. Yeah.
12,
Pick the corrupting
18
influence.
years. 18 years.
He has a lifetime on you.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving
I've
on.
got 2 lifetimes on most people.
So you're taking young Chiz on a little trip.
So we got on a little surf trip, and liberal young ladies. So, one of them our friend, so just mutual friend.
Yeah.
We've gone surfing, but the other young lady, we're on a remote beach in the middle of nowhere, and she does not like wearing clothes. So she's politely asked. I think me and the other friend had gotten out in the water for a surf, and she's wanted to shoot some drone footage of the surfing.
Yep. If anyone just tuning in now, Chiz is the man with design. He's got wax heads photography. That's what he's about. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it's my general thing. So I wanted to put the drone up. And, Matt and our other friend were out surfing. And this lovely lady was like, came up to me. She was like, do you mind if I go topless? And I was like, yeah, no dramas. The drone's over there. I'll keep it away from you. Me being so distracted on that, trying to keep the drone away from her, it sort of turned south for me.
He was trying so hard not to look at her with the drone that he didn't know where the drone was anymore.
I took the drone so far out to sea that it started like beeping on the remote, and it lost its GPS, and I pressed the return home button, but I forgot that we were in the middle of like a sand dune. So returning home, it's lowered its altitude and come back in, and the drone's crashed like in the middle of sand dunes. And for those who don't know, Wedge Island is like middle of nowhere sort of territory. So it's like when you look in, it's just white sand and just hills of it everywhere. So what, it took us maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours to try and walk around. And
We were looking at the screen, and all we could see is like it was upside down,
It was
and
a
there was
leaf.
some reeds near it, like a certain type of vegetation. And we're up scanning for this type of vegetation. We're like all pounding around the sand dunes. I'm pretty sure old mate was still topless.
she just let down, didn't she? Not my problem.
free yourself.
Was she just topless?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just topless.
Because you do nude beaches.
I've been to some with friends. Yeah.
Couldn't do it, man.
I grew up on nude beaches. So
I couldn't do it.
been
I'm
to
too
a nude
insecure
beach.
for that shit. No way I
I've
couldn't do
been
it.
to a nude beach.
Like dick out and everything.
Yeah.
I'm not confident about myself enough to do that shit.
I like it.
Is it liberating?
Oh, it's just nice to go for a swim freely.
Yeah, just have them
It's feeling the breeze.
Feeling the breeze.
To breathe.
Feeling the motion of the ocean.
Yeah, that's it.
Couldn't do it, man. Couldn't do it.
I feel like I just had a very liberal upbringing.
Yeah.
Where, yeah, we grew up like the old man was a nudie, so we grew up on nude beaches, and then
Yeah.
me and my brothers ended up with a job on the nude beach. So I've had the weirdest jobs. Like I'm gonna write a list one day of the jobs I've had, and I've just had so many weird, jaggy or out there jobs.
I must have had a sheltered upbringing. I swear to God, man.
I just seen Bondi Rescue,
Yeah.
but like it's Matt stood there with like a lifeguard thing, just like naked on this nudist beach. Like,
Well, you're the designer, mate. Maybe you can rustle that up for us.
Actually, you know what? Funny story. So
how did that spike a funny story?
I was selling drinks and ice creams out of the back of a 4-wheeler like quad bike on the beach. So much fun.
Like a hustle or just like a...
No, it's part of the cafe. Like
Oh, okay.
it was a cafe on the beach, on the nude beach, and we drive a quad bike up and down this 2.5 kilometer stretch of beach, Swanbourne Beach. And the most commonly sold item out of the esky of this quad bike that we would just pack extra because we knew they would go. Calippo ice creams. Do you know what they are? It's like
the
an
green and white one?
Nah, it's just like a lemon one.
Oh, the push-ups. Yeah, I know.
Look, just in case you don't know what it is, it's a super phallic icy pole. And it would literally just be like dudes buying them and then eating them with a whole lot of eye contact with another dude on the beach. Like it was pretty full on.
What's the translation for icy pole in the UK? It's ice lolly, isn't it?
Yeah, ice pop, ice lolly. Yeah. What's a couple of things that you can't make eye contact with somebody else while doing?
Oh,
Talking. I'm just really shy.
I used to really struggle with eye contact. Now I can't stop looking at your eyes. I used to always look up left. That was my place to look.
left.
Yeah.
Which one is it when you're lying? When you're accessing the creative part of your brain, you like look up to the left or the right or something like that.
But whenever I used to talk to somebody, it would be like I just couldn't do eye contact. I think maybe because it was the insecurity in my past. Like I couldn't look at their face. So I literally would just talk to them and it'd always be like up left and I just couldn't do it. I still sometimes I struggle now.
Mine's hot dogs.
Oh, right. Going back to the question. Yeah. I mean, you probably...
Are we just going to say it's just uncomfortable to make eye contact with anyone while eating anything remotely phallic?
Yeah. Anything that's long. Like you just,
Subject change.
Sorry. Yeah. Hot dogs, bananas.
Bananas doesn't faze me.
I do it
I don't know
purposely now just because.
Yeah, it's just funny.
Yeah.
You just look at someone, you like make them feel a little bit uncomfortable.
I don't even think about this shit, to be honest. Nah,
Just when you do it,
I'm
you're
just
just
eating,
like-
just doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. But you're quite free as well. Like I don't like we were talking about like things that piss you off while driving and like nothing you're just a happy-go-lucky. Like nothing gets on your nerves. You're just like, oh.
I feel like I haven't always been that way though.
Yeah.
Like, I think funny, I was discussing this the other day, but there's I read a book by a guy called Dan Pronk. He's an SAS medic. He's just recently been on that SAS Australia show. Yeah. And he wrote a book called, I think I read it, and I think the book was 70 odd kilo dickhead.
Well, just before you carry on, that's one of my dad's like heroes. Is that Ant Middleton dude?
Oh yeah,
the SAS
the
dude.
British one.
Yeah. So he sent me a picture when he met him once. He got a signed book and everything. So
Yeah.
just shout out, Dad, if you are listening. I know you're like
Yeah, shout out Jason's dad.
Mark. Oh,
Is your dad named Mark?
Mark. Yeah.
What's your dad's name?
Eric.
No,
Eric.
Okay. Yeah, no relation there.
Why the fuck would my dad be his dad?
I don't know.
Anyway,
No.
sorry, it's story time, Matt. You were telling a story.
Oh yeah, no, just this book.
My dad's name's Mark. That's where I was.
70 kilo dickhead.
Where did that come from? No relation.
Yeah, actually,
No,
let's
because
start that back.
my dad's name's Mark as well. So I was trying to think what your dad's name was.
Wait, are we brothers?
There can't be more than one Mark in the world.
Wait.
Nah, yeah, for real. For shout out Dad, like he's a big fan. He always listens, always shares. So I mean, I know parents do that, but
You know what? That leads into another Are We Brothers story. that I have to tell.
Fuck,
And
okay,
I'm
so-
not going to mention any names.
Okay,
with this
you
one.
remember Are We Brothers? You have to tell the 70 kilo dickhead story.
All right, I'm just gonna dot point this story, the 70
you
kilo
wanna
ticket
tell the
story, because this is ADD. This is ADD. You're lucky I'm even staying with that story and not just segueing. But I read it in this story, in this book, 70 kilo odd dickhead. I can't remember how. Anyway, talks about post-traumatic growth, and it's like when you've been through traumatic experiences, if you deal with them and you get through them, your framing is different. So I probably look at it I probably used to get pretty worked up about stuff when I was younger, but now the things that I've dealt with in life and through
Seeing
the
a
work
bit
that I've
smaller.
done, seeing that I think it's like getting caught in traffic is not a big deal when you've dealt with some pretty heavy kind of traumatic critical incidents.
And I think we might have mentioned this on a previous episode, but Matt used to do transit officer. So that obviously that comes with a lot of traumatic things. Let's just say that.
Violent dismemberment.
Yeah. So I guess for you that does. Yeah, I suppose that would put things in perspective. Like why get mad about this tiny thing when life can change in an instant? So
It's just getting older as well.
yeah.
I reckon you just mellow out and realise that the only person you're hurting when you're getting messed
It's
up about
you.
stuff is yourself.
Deep.
But
That's deep.
all right,
Moving
story
on.
time.
Story time. Here we go.
Now there's a
I'm excited
gentleman.
because you're leaning into the mic, so I'm kind of excited.
You're going to know who I'm talking about, and I'm not going to mention his name because we don't really have his permission.
Yep. If
Everyone's going to know.
Well, if it gets to that point, we just blur some shit out afterwards. It's fine. I know how to do it now.
There's a dude here in Mandurah,
Yep.
and we get mixed up all the time.
Yep. Yeah, I know.
We call it good twin, evil twin.
Yep.
He's my good Christian loving brother. The man's got some stories as well, I'm sure. But we're always getting mixed up with various people in the surf community. It's like, oh, I saw you surfing over here the other day, and it's like, nah, it wasn't me. It's my brother. But we joke about it. So we met randomly, we'd meet each other, see each other out at Fourth Groin.
Yeah. Yeah. Are they gonna? We're not mentioning who they are or what their name is, so they should be okay with it. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
We got chatting because my brother saw a surfboard for sale down here in Mandurah. He told me to go look for it.
Yeah.
And I've called them up and it's oh, sorry, we just sold it. Next day, this dude's riding it out at Fourth Groin. And that's how we first got chatting. It's man, I was trying to buy that surfboard as well. And he hated it. He ended up selling it on.
Well, just a pause. That seems to be the go-to for surfing because the first time that I knew that you surfed outside of us meeting was at Fourth Groin.
I was. You were fishing.
I was fishing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Getting him away.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? I had that the fuck, man? I didn't know Fourth Groin was the only surf spot. I didn't understand that. And it was what the fuck, man? These guys are just paddling over and over, making me forcing me to cast further and further.
Yeah. Plenty of room for you to go fishing. Don't fish in the surf break.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're getting pissed off at the fishermen.
I'm the fuck? I don't want to keep segueing because you've got a story. But did I tell you about the time that the guy got pissed off and tried flinging lures at me?
No.
No?
No.
So just one evening, sun was going down. There was a fisherman out there. So naturally, as I was paddling out, said hello. And he kept getting closer and closer. So I was and I'm not particularly a person that would comment on stuff. I don't know if it's British in me or just there's cowardice in me. That's just I don't say things when I feel it. I just kind of let it be. But it's time I was grown up and I was hey man, it's getting pretty close to me. There's, we can share. I'm only sitting here. And he was really irate, really angry just from the get-go. And I was bro, there's enough room to share. We can do this. And he was nah, you're getting in my way. I'm not moving my cast. And his lure was now where the wave breaks. I'm no drama, man. I'll paddle in. Don't worry about it. And he almost got mad because I was super calm about it. And then he was fuck you, have this. So he tried to fling his lure at me. And sure enough, the whole thing snapped off, flew way out into the ocean. And I think that was the only one he had because he's like, fuck. Starts slamming his fishing rod on the fucking rocks. Like, he's like, your fucking fault. And I'm just sitting there on my surfboard and he obviously packs up into his car. So I was like, fuck you, man. That's what you get. Inside, obviously. I wasn't brave enough to say that. Your story. You carry on with the recognized fourth groin, riding the surfboard.
Yeah, we become friends. We get chatting. And then it just randomly comes up one day that I used to work on the nudist beach at Swanee. And he goes, oh, yeah, like we used to, like when we were kids, we used to go to this nudist camp up in Parkerville. And bit of backstory, Mum was dating a guy that used to go to this nudist camp in Parkerville as well when we were kids. So we'd end up there when we were younger.
I'm already thinking, like, is it actually your brother?
Hey?
I'm already thinking, like, is it actually your brother?
I'm pretty sure he asked his parents. So we got reminiscing. We're like, oh, I remember, like, it was up in the hills. Like, there was those kangaroos. Like, a bell would go at, like, 2:30 in the afternoon, and you could go get a hot Milo from the canteen. There was a swimming pool. These big 2-story buildings. And I was really into Ninja Turtles at the time. Like, we had all the figurines. Yeah. And he's come out and he's like, said, oh, yeah, I remember, like, the 2-story place. Like, me and these other kids used to, like, make parachutes and throw, like, Ninja Turtles off the second story.
Bro, how fucking good is that when you're a kid, man? Like, you get toys and put a black bag on them and you fucking chuck them off the roof.
Yeah, that's what we were doing. Yeah,
so
it was me and as kids. Like,
you said the name. We'll blank that out. I'll get rid of that.
Segue that.
Yeah. I'll get rid of that. It's fine.
So you knew him as a kid.
So yeah, we were like chucking Ninja Turtles off this second-story roof. Here we met in Mandurah. Yeah. It turns out we were chucking toys off a rooftop at a nudist camp in the hills as children.
No way.
The kicker is everybody mistakes us for each other. We kind of look like each other.
It's like, is there?
And
take a test.
Well, I think he's like 14 days older than I am.
Twinsies.
I'm sure there's nothing in it.
We've peaked,
but we always laugh about it.
We've peaked the volume so many times because we're getting all giggly and shit. It's like when all of us laugh together, it's just like, what the fuck are you guys doing? That's why I keep trying to move the mic out my face.
That's my Mandra twin.
Mandra twin.
But we always say it's like if it's bad stuff, I did it. If it's good stuff, it was shit.
Well, we know now. There's no point.
No. I'll block it out.
You'll block it?
Yeah. I told you I find out how to block.
We'll
names. Yeah. I can get rid of it. Like it's like I literally have the add-on now where it's like. I will. I'll get... Anyway.
Can you edit out my swear words?
Absolutely fucking not.
Shitballs.
Trev.
Holy shitballs, man. You know, I was thinking back to our first episode and you know when you were talking about your friend who had like the near-death experience down south?
Yeah.
And you were like, there's a signal. I was listening to that back when I was editing it and all I could think about was, you know, in Team America, where they're like, just do the signal. And he like waves his hands. That was it. Like literally. And that was all. And I remember when you were telling the story, I was like, I have to tell him that sounds exactly like a plot of the movie. And I didn't. So now you know.
Now I know.
Now you know.
Now I know.
Yeah. Chizzy.
Yo.
That was a lot of story. You got a story for us? Because I'm quite happy to tell the story about what happened on my 30th birthday. I told it on the first episode that will never air. It's a mystery, and maybe one day, if this becomes something, we'll release that episode. But it's the time that I got caught with my trousers down. You remember that story? Or were you a little bit drunk?
Yeah.
So if you got a story to tell, I'm happy to tell this one in the meantime.
Should I tell the story from the first step that I gave you guys as well, with the specific?
Or I would be lying if I said that I remember what you're talking about.
The technological store in Mandurah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't
Nope.
remember?
Is
I'll
it
tell you what.
Cinderella's? Are you talking about Cinderella's?
No.
You're buying technology from
All right,
Cinderella's?
I'll give you guys a story.
All right, story time.
So
Here
it's
we
an
go.
embarrassing story, and I'm exposing myself a little bit here. But we spoke about this on the first episode that we recorded, and it's not been aired because the boys had a couple to drink and a few things got.
Look, loose
We
lips.
talked about a lot of
loose
illegal
lips.
shit.
Yeah, loose
lot of-
lips sink ships. And so I tell you what, we'll make an agreement here and now and a pact that if this ever makes enough money for us, I'd say, well,
We'll
we're not
air it.
earning any money, but if it ever makes money, we will release the
We'll release
episode and we won't have to worry about our current jobs or what we do for a living.
I had
Deal.
friends messaging say we should just like Patron the first episode.
Patron.
Yeah, like pay to view.
Oh, like
hear kind of
Patreon?
thing.
Pay to
Yeah.
view.
Yeah.
What is it? Sorry,
Patreon.
Patreon.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
basically OnlyFans.
Oh fuck.
Anyway,
Moving on.
story time.
Swiftly.
half Amanda will know exactly why I said that.
So
Yeah, cheers.
this was for those in the UK, all of the viewers that are listening in the UK, Australian rules football. I was at like a meet and greet with my team, my football team that I follow, and
It's, yeah.
You remember now?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming back. You're like, yeah.
and
Because it relates to my story.
yeah,
Yep.
so in relation to Jason's story and everything, so I'll talk about it.
You do yours
So
first, and I'll tell.
I was at this meet and greet, and everything was fine. We got photos with like some of my favorite iconic team members that I grew up watching all of their games, everything. I was a diehard football fan and whatnot. Afterwards, whilst we were there was a sausage sizzle. So we were having it was like a little cook up, little barbecue.
Are you happy
thing.
for you haven't had any beers, so are you happy for this to go out to the world?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
I was young. There was a sausage sizzle, and
Were you making eye contact with people while you're eating it?
I mean, I was like 8-9 years old, but
Oh shit. We edited that out.
After this story, my brother just sent us a funny question to put, and so yeah.
I had a sausage sizzle. It didn't agree with me. So afterwards, Mum. This was back in the days of like disposable film cameras. Digital cameras weren't really used. It was still that era. So Mum took the photos, and I was excited to have them developed. I was feeling fine and everything. We go to this computer store, and I know where the toilets are in there, and I'm saying to Mum, she's halfway through getting them developed. I'm saying I need to go to the toilet. I'm about to, like this is not good.
No, I don't know. Cheers. What's
I was about to explode, Jace. I was about to explode.
Got it. Yep.
And she was like, no, you can wait till we get home. I'm only going to be 10 more minutes. And I was like, there's no way I can get from Mandurah to Lakelands, which is where we were living at the time, without, exploding. So...
And just for anyone who's not creative enough, by exploding, he means shitting his pants.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I run away. I'm about to go there, and I just run away from Mum at the time, and I'm running through this store, and I'm just too late. I'm way too late. So it's a multi-purpose store, so they sell furniture as well. Oh, you dick. Viagra. And I don't make it to the toilet. So it's watery. It's dripping down my leg.
Next level.
This is getting more detailed than I remember.
Right.
We're going to lose half our viewers.
This is the funny bit. The stain on the carpet in that particular store is still there to this day.
I would like to
Where is
verify
it?
that.
I feel like this is a day out.
I think we should independently
I
verify.
hate
Wait, we'll go get photos with it.
I hate going back to that store. It has been, 14 years. 14 years since, and that stain is still there. And
Have
sometimes
you
if
ever
I'm shopping,
considered that they like the stain? Like it's
It adds character.
It's artistic. It's
Yep.
Pollock style.
I
like-
mean, I was an 8-9-year-old kid that was shitting himself in the middle of their store. So
It's memorable. But the staff is probably not the same anyway.
was it the Apple Store? Was it in Perth?
no, it was here in Mandurah.
All right, you're going to tell us off air because I want to go and take photos.
No, actually, tell us on air,
Oh,
and then everyone can go and have a look.
No, because I'm sure mutual friends would probably listen to this, and they'd work in the store, and then they'd be looking
better.
all over the store.
That's
to find
way
it.
better. Cheers. You realize like this goes out to whoever in the world cares to listen, and they will know.
All right. Well, let's just say that the store begins with a H.
Harcourts. That doesn't make any sense. Harvey Norman. That says yes. So here's your Harvey Norman in Mandurah may have a stain or may not have a stain, and you'll know that it's from yours truly.
Can you imagine walking around Harvey Norman with some sales assistant trying to assist you in buying something, and you're just like blowing them off because you're just looking around for a shit stain?
It's like, hang on, wait, I just need to just head down. Look, so you're not alone in your embarrassment. Very much like earlier when you sent us that picture of you, which we will put up now.
Yeah.
And I said to you, look, if you're gonna do this and send me a picture of you not looking your finest, I'll send you a picture of me not looking my finest as well, and we'll put that up now.
Yeah.
I'll just come on the podcast not looking my finest.
It's okay. You're
just
sleepy,
dusty
Matt.
24/7.
So, I'm happy to share this story. It was shared on the first episode, which was about an hour and 45 minutes long after we, did the intros. And it's the morning of my 30th birthday. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember it.
You remember this?
No.
So let me tell everyone what happened on the morning of my 30th, which was supposed to be glorious and happy and fun. So I wake up, and like Chiz as a child, I don't have the best of stomachs. It's feeling awkward. That's not very happy. And we have some eggs and some coffee at the campsite. So we carry on. What are you guys doing right now? Because it's distracting as fuck. So we have eggs and bread and like sandwiches, and we have some coffee at the campsite, and we head to a coffee shop that's literally overlooking the water in Exmouth. And on the way there, I'm like, man, I need to go. Like, I need to take shit. So I was like, babe, you order the coffees. I'm going to head to the bathroom, do my business, meet you back at the car. So I head in and take a seat and do my business. And you notice when someone's in the cubicle next to you, like you can hear them, and you have an unagreed, like, sorry, not unagreed, an agreed code of silence where you're like, you're doing you, I'm doing me, and we won't mention it to one another. Like the guy next to me is in Struggle Town. It's like, and you're like, cool. The code of silence says that I won't say anything. I almost want to be like, hey man, like you need some paper, like Anyway, so I carry on and finish, and in the moment of horror for most people, I get some toilet roll, and there is none left.
Oh.
And I, with the three-pronged one where you can move it, you're like, it's fine, man.
Yeah.
The next one, all three are empty. This is fucking code red. Like, this is an emergency. So my lady, who I've been with for like going on 7-8 years now, I'm like, look, babe, having a code red, I need you to bring some toilet paper into the male toilets because there is none here, and I'm up Shit's Creek.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, no worries. Like a champ she is, no worries. So I can hear her, and she's like, babe, where are you? And like, I messaged her like 10 minutes ago, and I'm like, what the fuck? And so I hear her calling in the distance. I'm like, fucking hell, she's obviously gone to like another toilet block or something. And I hear her moving around and people talking. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I just want some toilet paper so I can finish. And almost like, when people say like the penny drops and you realize something.
Yeah, yeah.
She goes, wait, you're not in here? And she goes, wait, are you in the ... And I'm like, oh, fuck.
No way.
And if you haven't put two and two together yet, Jason, in his immediate need to go to the bathroom, doesn't look at the signs, because signs are getting confusing now of what is the male bathroom, what is the female bathroom. And sometimes it just has like a picture. This one wasn't confusing. This one clearly said female. And I had ran in there and I'd gone to the cubicle and I had, done my bit. But the problem is, while Caitlin was searching for me, obviously she'd asked people like, hey, I think my partner's in there. Could you pass him some stuff? And no one was in the bathroom. So now multiple people are finding out that there is a guy in the female bathroom who is stuck there without toilet paper. So she passes it underneath, and the woman, because I realize now it's a woman in the cubicle next to me, is like, well, at least he's nice, at least he puts the toilet seat down, like having a great old time. And so I walk out of the bathroom feeling utterly humiliated on my 30th birthday, and I just get some round of applause. So that was the morning of my 30th birthday, and that is story time for you. Matt, I believe you have to go, my friend. We've done the 30 minutes. So we'll wind up here, boys.
So easy.
Always a pleasure, on this different day than the last episode.
Oh, 100%.
And the different outfits.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been at least a while. Chizzy, pleasure. Pleasure. Pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Matt, it's been a pleasure too. See you guys. Peace.
See ya.